Welcome. You're listening to Keeping It Real with Jonathan and Kevin on Be-Moor Radio. I'm one of the hosts, Jonathan, and this is
Shit, man, it's Kevin. What's good? What's good?
Chillin', man. I can't call it. How about yourself?
Hey, man, it's another day in paradise for me, man. Glad to be here. Finally back at it, man.
Yeah, finally back at it. We're back with a new sports podcast. It's a different kind of sports podcast. We're really not going to be focusing on the box score, what's really going on the court. We kind of want to focus on like the humanity of sports. Like these guys, they are human beings. Before they are athletes, they provide that entertainment. But it's more to it than that. Like some of these people, they're trying to leave legacies. They're like trying to make differences in their communities. And Kevin and Jonathan are here to point that out, try to make sure it's known.
Exactly. Hey, the show is our title, man. We keeping it real. We keeping it real with our guests, man. That's what we doing here. So we just not focusing on the local sports. We're doing all sports, man. From soccer, golf, tennis, you name it, we're doing it. We're focusing on women in sports too, just as well as the men too. So I don't know about you, man, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see the content we're gonna bring, the people we're gonna have on. We got some big things in the works, man. So I'm definitely excited.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I'm most definitely excited because just hearing people talk about, what they got going on, like hearing people being passionate, about these subjects that they really care about. Like it's really good to see people like that. But that's the show. But now we have the NBA draft coming up, the 2021 NBA draft. Quick thoughts on it, Kevin. What you think about it? What you think about this draft?
Man, I honestly think this is gonna be one of the better drafts, than previous years. So I'm excited, man. We got some big time players, and hopefully it comes out a well draft. So I'm excited to see the players that will be selected. Like I said, I think it's going to be one of the better draft class. So what you think? What's your thoughts on it?
Oh man, I'm gonna start dropping some names. Like these guys are talented. I was watching the tournament, last year because of COVID, we didn't get one, but like seeing these guys in the tournament, you can really see who's like rising up the boards. And like you got guys like Jalen Suggs, the guard from Baylor. You got Kate Cunningham. I think these guys can like really come in and change somebody's franchise.
Yes,
but
okay, so do you think before let me stop you right there. Do you think that this past draft class, do you think this upcoming draft class is going to be as good as this past one?
You know what? I actually think, I think they could be better. I think they could be better because coming in, because coming in, like the guys from this past year, in which they're performing really well for given everything that they went through, because like not having the summer league, not training camp. A lot of those guys' first experience was honestly a preseason NBA game, and a lot of them are holding their own, like Anthony Edwards, the Melo Ball, not to be biased, but Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, but yeah, like these guys coming in, they're gonna like have that experience from the summer league and like also more time to prepare with what they got going on.
Oh, for sure. Well, speaking of the NBA draft, our first guest is actually preparing for the NBA draft right now. He's over there in Phoenix getting ready. So we're excited to have him on. So yeah, man, let's get into it.
Yeah, find out who he is. Stay tuned to Keeping It Real with Kevin and Jonathan on Be-Moor Radio.
10 seconds now. Turner against Vanderplas. Step back try, Justin Turner! Falcons by 1, less than 2 seconds.
Justin Turner. God. I know he remember that shot. I
do. I very vividly.
All right, well, welcome, man. Welcome to Keeping It Real with Kevin and Jonathan. I'm one of the hosts, Kevin, and Jonathan right up there, the other host. And today we got a special guest, Justin Turner, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see from that video, highly talented guard from Bowling Green State. That's where he graduated. Also a native of Detroit, Michigan. So Justin, man, really glad to have you on the show, man. How you doing?
Kev, John, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely, man. Look, before we jump into this, I just want to say I feel really old now because man, I remember when you was in kindergarten, man. Now you out here.
Yeah, right.
Now you,
Watching all the varsity and JV y'all
right,
games, man, because I wasn't
right,
even old enough to play, right? It's
right,
crazy.
man. But nah,
Time
yeah,
just
man.
flies.
It is. But definitely, man, you definitely made a name for yourself, and everything with your basketball career, man. So, first of all, I want to start with that shot, man. What can you walk us through that moment? Like, what was going through your mind, going into that shot that you hit?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I just wanted to get a shot to fall. I probably only had about 10 points that game. I literally missed two shots similar to that shot before that. So if somebody just saw the highlights, they'll think I had a good game. But reality, I was out there, making a lot of bad plays and didn't, play the best. So I knew coming down at this, the ball is gonna go to me. I'm sure everybody in the gym probably knew it, but I just wanted to get some space to get a shot off. And if I got a good look, I was gonna take it regardless.
Okay, okay.
Did coach draw up a play for you, or you just took things into your own hands?
Yeah, no, he didn't draw a play because they missed the free throw, and then we just got the ball. Sometimes he called a timeout, sometimes he don't to set up something. But I want to say it was about 6 seconds left, 7 or 8, and he kind of just looked at me. And, he always do this. That means just go. He won't call a timeout. So when he do that, I know it's time. And as I got older in my career, he kind of just uh, live with whatever I was gonna do. In the beginning, he would probably call a timeout and maybe overcoach at times, but towards the end, it's like, all right, we'll live and die with what you do.
Okay, nice, man. I know you definitely made some big plays over there at BG. So, how we're gonna take it back.
Yeah.
So what got you into basketball? Or did somebody inspire you, or what? Because I know you come from an athletic family already, but
hmm
talk to us about how you got into basketball.
Man, it was kind of something natural. It wasn't forced. My parents didn't force me to play. I think a big reason was my brother. My brother played at Detroit Urban Lutheran, the high school we went to, and that was kind of the first competitive basketball I really watched. The games versus Urban versus Loyola, or Southfield Christian, and those schools like that. So just seeing those type of games, I was like, man, this looks pretty fun. And then after that, it just came naturally. I started, I want to say, about age 5, and just kept developing and got better each year. And that's when I know I want to take it seriously.
Okay. Also, growing up in Detroit, being a Detroit native, how would you say, the resources were for you in the city growing up playing basketball?
Yeah. In the beginning, it was kind of tricky, having those being in an area where it's not probably not the safest to go just outside to a park. Sometimes it felt limited. My stepdad Tony Crowley got the football coach at
Mhm.
Detroit Urban when I was pretty young, so I was fortunate enough to be able to get gym time while he was at football practice. So that's a lot of times where I kind of use that advantage to get in the gym and just do some extra stuff. Because I'm sure a lot of middle school people wasn't really getting in the gym and just putting in real work at the time. So that was the time I was just say, whatever we do, me and my brother, we would do it, and we would go hard at it and try to capitalize on whatever chance we got.
Okay. Yeah, I know Coach Crawley was about his business, man. I always
Yeah, that's right.
one thing I remember for sure, man. But that's good to hear, man.
Yeah,
All right. We want to take it to your high school experience at Renaissance, also your
yeah,
AAU experience. Uh, what was your mindset going into high school as a freshman on varsity? Like,
man.
what were some expectations? You know.
With that we had to change the program around immediately. I remember it's a great question because I remember being in a layup line my freshman year, and I'm just looking around at the crowd like, man, it's so dead in here, and it was so boring. Like our games was just boring, and it was kind of a sad thing to watch. We would lose the teams that we weren't supposed to lose to. It was kind of just embarrassing. So my mindset was really do whatever I can to change the program. And each year we got better, and slowly but surely we competed for city championships. Even though we lost, but we still competed and was considered one of the better teams in the state. So my mindset was just to bring a whole clean slate to Renaissance basketball.
Yeah, man. I remember when your sister told me you was going to Rennie, man. I was like,
Yeah,
that's big time. So I know, like you just mentioned, how you led the team to back-to-back city titles. They didn't do that. They haven't been since what, like the Joe Crawford,
yeah.
Harrison
I want
days.
to say 04.
Yeah. So the fact that you were on that team both years, that's a big thing. You definitely helped change the program around a lot. So during your basketball career, I know that's a big part of AAU too. So can you talk to us a little bit about your AAU experience? How was that for you? Did you face any challenges? Can you just like walk us through that?
Yes. So man, AAU was a roller coaster for me. It was just up and down. Started off real hot. I started off with a team called the Michigan Playmakers and the G Boys, and those are at the time those were two local teams. Maybe didn't go to the premier tournaments, wasn't the most known, but we competed with teams and we were real scrappy. So I came out my sophomore year, and that's when I started getting a couple offers from some MAC schools. I then decided to switch teams. I went over to the Michigan Mustangs that was on the Adidas circuit, and now we was playing with more high level players like Miles Bridges. He played for him. Monte Morris played for him. Derek Walton played for the Mustangs. So we was kind of getting in that field of getting our foot in the door, kind of. So go on junior year, still with the Mustangs. We playing some really good teams on the Adidas circuit. I'm kind of making a name for myself nationally, and starting to get some high major coaches starting to have interest and call and reach out to my high school coach just to, because they might be intrigued the way I play. And then going into my senior year, it's kind of like the AAU circuit kind of just killed my stock. I went to a tryout for the family, and it didn't really work out. I guess my Mustang team heard about it, and they didn't really wasn't in their favor too well. And I actually ended up going back to the Mustangs after that tryout because I just wanted to see how things were going to fill out. And after that, man, I went back to the Mustangs. I barely even played. I was going to these big tournaments. I was sitting the bench. Coaches probably thought I had was a head case. They probably thought I, dealt with injuries, or they probably thought I just wasn't good enough to play at that level. So I really missed out on a lot of schools because teams were coming to see me because I kind of had a question mark on my name at that time and just having to prove myself, and I wasn't playing. So that kind of left a void. And going to my senior year, I kind of just started the recruiting slate all over again. So yeah, that's really the story of my AAU, and kind of one of the reasons why I signed so late. And it was just an up and down process.
Wow. If there was anything about like the AAU circuit and like how it functions, like anything that you would change, what would it be?
Man, I honestly wouldn't change nothing. At the time, I felt like every decision I made at the time was the best one for me. And and I was coming up in a time where AAU people were switching teams like no other. Like you would see a dude play for a team, and then he'd be playing for the other team that they just played in the next tournament. So I didn't really think I was doing anything wrong by going to see a tryout or go see some familiar faces and see what the team was willing to give or offer. So I won't take anything back. Wouldn't take anything back.
That's good. So who did you play for your senior year?
I ended up the last July period, I finished out with One Nation.
Okay,
I only played for like 3 tournaments.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, and then so obviously you finished your senior year, as one of the top players in the state. I know it was a tough district for y'all, especially
Yeah, it was
with UAD.
every year.
every single year. Jonathan, man, he a UD grad, so we got
Yeah,
some
man.
yours.
Yeah. Cassius Winston, man. You had to come see him, man.
We got it done every time. And then the year they got them Africans, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, Greg and Eke, yeah.
I remember my freshman and sophomore, I was like, we probably not gonna get them. But I was like, junior, senior, and then they got the Africans. I'm like, it's gonna be.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then it's crazy because what was it? Was it? It was your junior year that y'all played East English in the cities in the championship.
We
Or was
played
that
them
your
senior year. We played
So-
Western my junior year.
Okay, so that was the year my man's could have made the half court shot to win
Yep,
it.
Daryl.
Okay,
Yeah.
there.
And I missed the shot before that too. And
Okay,
he missed the half court shot. That was pretty close actually.
Yeah, okay. Now I got you. Okay. So got you. So yeah, like I said, man, you had an exceptional high school career, and you commit to Bowling Green. So I know your first year you dealt with an injury, and you had the red shirt. So can you talk to us about, what was going through your mindset? Here you are coming off an exceptional high school season, going into college, trying to get better, and then your freshman year come and you can't even play the whole season.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us, about that?
Yeah, no, that was very frustrating. The biggest thing was that it happened during like a transitional year. You never want to miss anything, especially when it's something that you're new to. So I'm coming out of high school and I'm going to college and trying to get adjusted to the pace, the physicality, the plays, and everything that we do as a program. And then, get hurt literally first game. Put all that work in to get to that point, and then you get hurt. And another thing that was frustrating was that before that, we went out to Italy and we had like a little foreign tour where we played 4 games. We played some professional teams out there, and eventually I worked my way into the starting lineup. So it kind of felt like I was finally getting that, second win and finding my rhythm and finding a niche on the team. And then the first game, not even the first game, the exhibition game, the injury happens. And it is part of the game, but, that was probably a big challenge. So just having to reset and focus on getting healthy and trying to learn what would keep me on the floor was probably something I took away from it the most.
All right. You had a really good season in 2019, and then you entered the NBA draft, which you ended up withdrawing after working out for a few teams. Can you just like walk us through that process? Like what was that like? What led you to come back to a BGSU?
Yeah, definitely. Declaring for the draft, it was a unique process at the time. It was something that was just very new to me. I ended up having 2 workouts with the Bulls and the 76ers. And I feel like I learned so much from it because one, my Bulls workout, I was in there with 2 or 3 people that actually got drafted. So to be around those type of players, those type of athletes and very skilled players is something that I think helped me tremendously. Because one, I think I saw that the mindset that those players come in with, the high major players, and how serious they take it. You go into them NBA workouts, it's like every man for himself. Everybody just going ballistic hard because they got something to prove. His job's on the line. So, coming back, I sat back and I just realized what type of approach towards the game that I need to have, and also showed me that I wasn't all the way there yet. I probably thought so for my skill, but there was a lot of intangible things that I still had to work on. So ultimately, I thought coming back was the best decision for me.
Okay, now for those people like who don't know about Justin Turner, man, like you were one of the top guards in the country, not just mid-major, but all of college basketball. I mean, you Bowling Green's all-time leading scorer. You multiple games where you hit a game winner, or hit a big shot. So you definitely know how to play, and you definitely are always ready for the big moment. So when you decided to come back, for your last year, what was your mindset going into that?
Oh yeah, that just that it was unfinished business. We were Year before that, we were picked to win our league. Yeah, we were pretty much first place the whole season. We dropped 3 games at the end, and we ended up finishing second. But we still thought we had a good chance to win our conference. And then, unfortunately, COVID, everything with COVID trickled down. So the year after that, it was just like I only got one goal. I knew it wasn't. There was a chance that we'll have a season, so we had a full season. Just that the only goal was to try to win our conference, and it didn't really go that. It didn't go that way, and some things happened that I can't really control. But that was my mindset coming back into that final year, just to do what I feel like, give BG what I feel like they deserve.
Okay. All right. We want to transition, kind of wind it down here. I wanted to ask you about the. Are you familiar with the hashtag not NCAA property movement that
Yeah,
came?
yeah, I seen a couple. That's the Isaiah Livers. He started that, right?
Yeah, Isaiah Livers, Geo Baker, another player from Iowa, a few other players. But yeah, I just wanted to, just like get your all around opinion on that, like what you think about the movement, like any personal restrictions that you faced yourself that you may have thought was unfair.
Yeah. I probably had the same restrictions that any other college players had, not being able to capitalize off their name, obviously make any type of amounts of money, and being a college athlete and going through, full days, when some people call it jobs, when you've got wage practice and not being able to get paid and stuff like that. But I definitely respect the move, and and the way they go about it. It's not really no rah rah. It's something that they truly believe in, and you see them wearing the shirts during the games and putting it on Instagram, and have people following. So it's definitely a trend that's on the upward.
Okay. And so like what do you have? Do you want to see any changes for the up and coming players in the NCAA? Just to, not only on the court but off the court, because there's been a lot of talks about how people think that these D1 athletes have it all, but they really don't. So do you want to see like any changes made from the NCAA?
Yeah, definitely want to see athletes be able to profit off their name. They work so hard to get to that point, and I've never been a person that said, "Oh, I wasn't able to do it, so they shouldn't be able to do it." And then NCAA is made up of a lot of black athletes, so it's something that I want them to see be successful with. I think I saw something. I don't know if it starts for about next year, where NCAA athletes will maybe get some if they get their jerseys purchased. I don't really know how true that is, but I thought I saw something that starts around the year 2022. I might have to follow up on that, but I definitely want to see some changes.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And I wanted to ask you a question. It slipped my mind, but it came back to me. So, um, when COVID hit,
Yeah.
like before your last year started, um, I read there were like rumors like you might have been you like might have been thinking about transferring.
Hmm.
So I wanted to ask you, like, through that process, what was going through your head, like, um, if you were thinking about transferring, what was the big reason you decided to come back to BG?
Yeah, I actually was. I was in the portal. It got real crazy in the portal, and I had a lot of schools to choose from. So really, just coming on the mindset of coming back is kind of what I said earlier. I just felt like I didn't really give everything I had yet to Bowling Green. I feel like I still had um, another shot to bring a MAC championship here and crack that tourney drought that we've had since for so long. Um, Overall, I think I still would, looking back now, I wouldn't change the decision. I think it was the best decision for me. And then ultimately, you'll see a lot of players transfer and go higher or something like that, and they don't even look like the same player that they was at the previous school. So it was all about getting into the right situation. I feel like I narrowed the schools down to what I thought maybe I can fit in their system and still be able to play the way I play, be a natural scorer and be a combo guard that can still run a team. But Yeah, so I thought BG was the best decision for me to come back, and it gave me the best chance to be myself.
Okay. Now, were there some Michigan schools you were looking at?
Yeah. It was Michigan State, Michigan was in there.
Okay.
It was in there
Okay.
in the beginning.
Okay. All right.
All right, Justin, we want to hit you with some quick hitters to close out.
All right.
How this works is I'm just going to ask you something and like just say like the first thing that come to mind.
All right.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, first question: the hardest player that you had to guard at any level, like whether it's the street, park, school, whatever.
Yeah. Cassius Winston.
Cassius Winston.
Yeah.
Wow. See, there you go, man. There you go.
Why
I
Cassius?
knew he was gonna like that one.
Why Cassius?
Man, he's so smart. You know, he's probably one of the smartest players I played against. Not the most athletic, but he understands the game. He understands the angles. He knows where to put the ball, whether it's a pass, a shot, layup. And, you know, he makes his teammates better. So I think he was the hardest person to guard.
Okay. All right. So the next question we got: favorite rapper or artist?
Meek Mill. That's my favorite right now. I like G Herbo a lot too, but Meek my favorite.
Okay.
All right, Herb, nice.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What NBA player would you compare yourself to and why?
CJ McCollum. You know, I've been watching him for a while now. I just think we have the same size. We kind of do the same things on the court. It's a true combo guard, a natural scorer, but also can run a team and put people in position to be better and make plays for teammates. And at the end of the day, know how to get buckets. You know, he also came from a mid-major. You know, I'm sure he dealt with different challenges. He went lottery, but I'm sure he dealt with some challenges and adversity. So I think overall, it's probably somebody I would compare myself to.
All right,
Okay,
I can definitely see it.
I like that comparison a lot, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, final question. Do you have any advice for anybody like trying to come up, trying to get to the league or to even to the level that you made it to? Any advice?
Yeah, I do. And it's so cliche and simple, but it's really just to keep your head down working. You know, I can recall so many times where even in high school, I felt like I was kind of underappreciated because there was so many good players like Braylon Neely, Kamari Newman, Cassius, Josh Jackson. And I was just like, man, like when am I ever gonna get some love, some attention, or you know, whatever the case may be. But just my high school coach told me, man, you just gotta keep your head down and keep working. And eventually you'll get to that level where people are, or you'll surpass people. So no matter what stage that you're at in your career, if you feel like you underrated or overrated, you should just keep your head down and just keep working, and then you'll look up and you'll be where you need to be.
That's facts, man. That's facts. Yes, sir. Well, yeah, man. Justin, man. Thanks again, man, for chopping it up with us, man. Just want to wish you all the best. I know you getting ready for the pre-draft. Said you're going out to Phoenix.
Yep.
Soon? Okay.
So it'll be hot out there, man.
Yeah, enjoy that weather, man. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. I know you're gonna put that work in, man, and hopefully come July, you know, when that draft happens, we hear that name called, man. So,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, y'all.
No doubt.
No, thank you for being here, man.
That guy Justin Turner, he's a special talent right there. Not only is he a good athlete, but he's a well-mannered gentleman, and I was happy to have him on. He was a great person to have a conversation with, and I'm just excited to see what's in store for him as he gets ready for the draft. I believe he should hear his name called. I think he definitely has the potential. I think he can play with the best of them, so definitely going to be an exciting night for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. He's got a lot of game. I really like this comparison to himself to CJ McCollum. You know, like those scoring guards that can kind of get any shot that they want. Like you go through Justin's highlights and you can definitely see the similarities, even with the journey and the upbringing. You know, going to like one of those mid-majors or like one of those lesser-known schools and like trying to make a name for yourself. I think Justin's up there. Yeah, he's nice. He's really nice. But I think one guy that you should look out for is UCLA's Johnny Juzang. Yeah, you know, he was knocking down all them tough shots during the tournament.
Yeah,
it just seemed like he couldn't miss. Yeah, a lot of trouble. He even took down Michigan. But yeah, Johnny Juzang, that's the one guy to look out for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, that's it for us. So make sure you tune in next time on Keeping It Real.